Back to weekend learning with Transit. If you are joining us for the first time, we have been looking at the effective worker as a series, and we have done 3 episodes. And so the first episode rather, we looked at owning your work ethics, because we believe that nobody succeeds long term without discipline and responsibility. In episode 2, we explored managing up, basically learning how to work effectively with supervisors and leadership. In the 3rd episode, we focus on time and priority mastery, because productive workers know what matters most and they act accordingly. Today, we are looking at a skill that connects all the 3 previous episodes. Communication that gets results. Because you can work very hard, you can be supportive and respect leadership, and manage your time well. But if you cannot communicate clearly, professionally, and effectively, your value may remain invisible. Many workplace problems are not competency problems, they are communication problems. And so because of that, projects delay because instructions are unclear. Teams experience conflict because expectations are misunderstood. Great ideas get ignored because they were poorly communicated. So it's not about competence alone. So I just want you to imagine 2 employees giving the same assignment. One stays silent, no updates, no clarification, and submitted the report on time, while the other one asked questions, clarified expectation, and communicated progress consistently. Both of them worked hard, but the supervisors recognized that one created confidence through communication. That is why communication is not just a soft skill, it is a professional surviving skill. And so today, we will learn how to communicate with clarity, influence, and results, like that employee that the supervisor recognize. So at the end of this episode, what we want you to take away is to understand how communication affects professional reputation, influence, and workplace effectiveness. Apply the BLUF principle to communicate clearly in emails, meetings, and in presentations. 3, identify and avoid common communication mistakes that create confusion and delay action. Then lastly, communicate more effectively with supervisors, your colleagues, and teams using strong written, verbal, and non-verbal skills. So communication that gets results. Say it clearly. Make it land appropriately so people understand what you mean, so you get things done. I want you to look at this. Same organization, same people, but different communicator. A project meeting lasted for 2 hours. Everybody contributed, but no one summarized what was contributed. 3 departments left with three different understandings of the next steps, and the project got delayed by 1 week. So in one meeting, Everybody spoke. The room was full of people, ideas. Conversation went round in circle. A lot of things were said, but nothing was decided. The result, people left with different understanding of what was agreed. But in another meeting, one person stood up, said exactly what was needed, explained why. The result, the room was moved to make a decision. So a decision was made. People knew exactly what to do next. So I want you to know that technical competence can get you into the room, but your communication skill will determine what happens once you get there. So you can be technically good, IT-wise, but your ideas may be bouncing back because of your communication skills. And so anytime people don't get what you mean, they don't understand what you mean, there's a gap. There's a gap. For example, a manager sent a message saying, handle the report urgently. That was vague. So one staff member updated the figures. Another redesigned the slides. Another waited for approval. What exactly am I doing? And as a result of that, all the work they did in wrong direction. Everybody worked, but nobody delivered what the supervisor or the manager actually needed. Why? Because the communication, the instruction was vague. And so things can get delayed when communications are not clear. When people don't understand what you mean, your good idea can get buried or wasted or ignored. And so that will make decision making concerning that idea difficult. You can have amazing technical and accurate brief, but if your communication skill is poor, there will be no action taken on it. So you do the work, but your communication skill now will not make the work not to get the required or expected outcome. So communication is very, very key. So I want you to pause and reflect. Think about the last important message you sent. Did the person receiving it know exactly what you needed from them? Did you make it easy for them to say yes or no? Did you follow up in a way that kept things moving? If the answer to any of this is no or not sure, this episode will give you the structure to change that. Now, essentially, we communicate through 3 channels professionally. And each channel requires a deliberate and different approach. It's not one size fits all. So we have written communication where we emails, reports, memo, WhatsApp. What I want you to know is that because you are not physically there, so they can't read your body language, your expressions, no. They cannot even see your tone of voice like that. And so clarity and structure are very important. They are everything you need when it comes to written communication so that things can get done. Your emails, your reports, your memos, your WhatsApp. Verbal communications, meetings, presentation, one-on-one calls. This is the place that most decisions are made, and you need to influence a lot of things. So how you structure your points will determine whether you are taken seriously in the room or not. So always lead with your conclusion, always. Your conclusion is the outcome that you want, not the many stories. not the many stories. Be deliberate. This is the outcome I want, and that's what you should present. Let it be that if they will not hear any other thing, they will hear that one. Non-verbal communication, posture, eye contact, pace, and presence. Your body language will make people already form an opinion before you even say anything. So it's very, very important. What you say, what you don't say, your posture, your eye contact is very key when it comes to non-verbal communication. And so I want to introduce you to a tool today, or maybe you know it before, just a reminder. The acronym BLF. 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 What is it all about? Bottom, line, up, front. Basically, you say the main thing first before giving explanations or backgrounds so that your main point does not get lost in the process of explaining. Now, most of us, the way we communicate, even as in the academic setting, there's a background first, and then you move to the story, and then the details, and then the main point. Sometimes we say in summary. But this too, BLUF, flip it. Start with the main point. Then you give the reason or reasons. Then you now support it with details. That's why I say lead with your outcome. Always. Lead with your outcome. Always. So these two basically will help busy people, especially, and even those who are less busy, to help people to a large extent to understand, number one, what you need from them, why what you need matters, and what action to take. So let's look at these two examples. Without BLF, BLUF. Look at this. Following our team meeting last Tuesday and a review of project timeline, taking into account the resource constraint we discussed, as well as steering committee feedback, I want to bring to your attention a potential challenge that could affect our delivery date. Now look at this same email now, or report with BLUF. Our project will miss its March deadline. That's the main point. That's the outcome you want to achieve with this. Unless we get 2 additional staff by end of this month. Here is what I recommend. So the person already know, okay, this matters if we want our project deadline to be met, if we want to deliver within time or on time. What do we need to do? We need to get 2 additional staff by the end of this month. So the person is not looking for the main point, what you want. Look at this one without BLUF. So the person will now have to go and look for the main point. What does this person want? And so look at these 2 employees. The lady was the one that did without BLUF. The man wrote his own with BLUF. The man is not a better thinker. No, same thinking, but better communication. In fact, the lady's analysis far, far better than the man's own. But the way she communicated now made all all our good work, clean analysis, thorough analysis, to be wasted. So effective communication amplifies your thinking, while poor communication buries it. So you can have a good idea, but in the midst of explanation and all those stuff, the idea will be lost. So that's why these two is very important if you want to communicate in a way that you will keep getting results. And so I want you to cultivate these 5 habits that will change how people see you. Number 1, lead with your points, your main point, your outcome, your conclusion. Apply these two, BLUF, to everything. State your conclusion first. Your reader should never search for what you need. For example, the main reason for what I want to say is that we are likely to miss our match deadline. Then you cannot give the reason. Write for your reader. What do you need? What do they need to know? What do you want them to do? Cut all the stories out. Listen to understand. Communication is talking, listening to understand, and responding. You don't listen to respond, because when you listen to respond, you will not understand what the person wants or what they are saying. So your response will be inappropriate. So your communication will not achieve what you intended it to achieve. So listen so you can understand what is said verbally, what the person is saying with their non-verbals. Confirm understanding. Just sending an email is not communication. You have listed all these things, you have put all your points together at the end. The aim of this email, for example, is that we must make a decision on this. I hope you are okay on this, or I need your approval on this. I need you to confirm that you understand what I've said so far, even when you are talking to people verbally. What have you heard me say so far? Can you state your understanding of what I've said so far? So it's not just sending emails. No, that's not communication. The people must understand what you mean. Adapt to your audience. Adapt to your audience. So you must adapt to your audience. You are working with a supervisor now, you understand the person communication style. You may be working with another colleague with a different communication style. So adapt your style to the different situation. The best communicators are the most adaptable. So I want us to look at writing emails that get responses. A 4-part structure that works every time. You know when we want to write email, there's the subject line. Update on project. Which project? Versus, look at this. Decision needed on project timeline by Friday. It's clearer than update on project. Then you will be writing, remember, is to communicate clearly, professionally, and effectively. So I need a decision by Friday on the project timeline. The first line, I hope this email finds you well. I wanted to discuss. No, look at the second one. We need one additional staff member to meet March deadline. Then you cannot explain. Essential context, 2 to 4 sentences only, not all the context. The essential one, specific action and a deadline, one clear request, one next step, not multiple questions in one email. Your email will not get responses like that because, everybody is busy. And so imagine your supervisor dealing with like 10 of you. But if you write like this, clearly what you need, why it matters, and the action to take. Speaking to influence in meetings. When you are speaking, you are not the boss, but you speak to influence. For you to get that, you need to always prepare. One, prepare one clear point before every meeting. If I say this one thing I will say will move the conversation forward. Conclusion first. What is the outcome that you are looking for? When you speak, lead with your conclusion. Then you can give your reasons. And of course, you can now invite people to talk. When you even say this is it, you come with a conclusion, with the outcome. People will ask questions. Don't feel silent. Don't feel it. If you don't have anything to say, just keep quiet. Silence is not weakness. It's not. It's not a weakness. Ask listening questions. Ask questions that will show that people are listening to you by building on what you have just said. You can ask questions. Oh, what do you understand by what I've said so far? That's building engagement. Then confirm after every meeting. Send a brief note on what was agreed and who does what. This one habit will set you apart. When people, your supervisor, your colleagues, they know that you do that, or like you're the secretary or something like that, it will set you apart. In fact, people will want to be making you the host of the meeting all the time. And so our key takeaways today is what? Communication is what the other person understands, so they can decide and then do the necessary. It's not what you said. So if what you said, they did not understand it, no communication. So your technical competence, I want you to know, we get you into the room, but your communication skill will determine whether you stay there, whether you are influential or not. The BLUF is your most powerful tool. Lead with your conclusion. Always. The outcome, what do you want to achieve? Write for your reader. Cut everything that does not answer what they need and what you need. After every important conversation or email, confirm understanding, not just delivery. So this week, I want you to take some actions. Let's see, 2 or 3. Write one email you need to send or one that did not get the response you needed. Rewrite it. 2 actions. Rewrite it. Bottom line first. Specific request. Essential content only. Then the next steps. And in your next meeting, prepare one point. Lead with your conclusion. Then stop. And then you see people asking. These 2 changes, I want you to do it. Try it this week and keep at it. This is your starting point. And so I believe that you have learned 1 or 2 things, but I want you to know that every professional you admire who gets things done is a skilled communicator. So master the art of communication. So if this episode has added value to your week, I want you to like it, share it with people so that we can reach other people, and subscribe so that you don't miss out on our upcoming exciting episode. Next time we're meeting, we'll be looking at saying no without hurting relationships. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time.